Most people probably do not think about which seat will protect them the most in an emergency when booking a flight. Instead, they tend to book seats for comfort, such as legroom or convenience, like easy access to toilets. Frequent flyers might book their seat as close as possible to the front so they can disembark more quickly. It is noted that we rarely book a flight with hopes of getting one of the middle seats in the last row, but these seats are statistically the safest ones on an airplane. Air travel is reiterated as the safest mode of transport. In 2019, there were just under 70 million flights globally, with only 287 fatalities. According to the U.S. National Safety Council's analysis of census data, the odds of dying in a plane are about 1 in 205,552, compared with 1 in 102 in a car. Even so, we pay little attention to fatal road accidents, but when we hear about an ATR-72 crashing in Nepal, it's the lead story on every news page. Our interest in plane crashes might lie in wanting to understand why they happen, or what the odds are of them happening again. And perhaps it's not a bad thing. Our concern ensures these tragic incidents are thoroughly investigated, which helps keep air travel safe. It is stated frankly that there is no real need to worry about safety when boarding a commercial flight. But if one still has that nagging question in their head, driven by sheer curiosity, they are invited to read on. It is reminded that accidents by their very nature do not conform to standards. In the 1989 United Flight 232 crash in Sioux City, Iowa, 184 of the 269 people on board survived the accident. Most of the survivors were sitting behind first class, towards the front of the plane. Nonetheless, a time investigation that looked at 35 years of aircraft accident data found that the middle rear seats of an aircraft had the lowest fatality rate, 28%, compared with 44% for the middle aisle seats. This logically makes sense too. Sitting next to an exit row will always provide one with the fastest exit in the case of an emergency. Granted, there's no fire on that side, but the wings of a plane store fuel, so this disqualifies the middle exit rows as the safest row option. At the same time, being closer to the front means one will be impacted before those in the back, which leaves us with the last exit row. As for why the middle seats are safer than the window or aisle seats, that is, as one might expect, because of the buffer provided by having people on either side. It is noted that the wings of commercial planes store fuel, which can make this area slightly more hazardous in the very unlikely event of an emergency. Some emergencies are worse than others. Running into a mountain will decrease chances of survival exponentially, as was the case in a tragic 1979 disaster in New Zealand. Air New Zealand flight TE-901 crashed into the slopes of Mount Erebus in Antarctica, killing 257 passengers and crew. As we delve deeper into the topic of aviation safety, it's important to highlight that while tragic air disasters do occur, they are extremely rare. The safety measures and procedures in place are meticulously designed to minimize risk and maximize survival chances in the event of an emergency. Surviving an airplane emergency highly depends on the specific circumstances. For instance, if a plane has to make a water landing, pilots are trained to land between waves at a normal landing angle to reduce impact. This is a complex maneuver requiring skill and precision. Aircraft are engineered to withstand considerable stress. The wings of modern planes can flex to absorb extreme loading, preventing structural failure. Innovations in composite materials are further enhancing this resilience. In addition to the aircraft's design, the role of cabin crew is vital in ensuring passenger safety. The simple act of fastening your seatbelt, as emphasized by the cabin crew, can be a lifesaver, especially during clear air turbulence, a weather phenomenon that can cause significant damage. The size of the airplane can also impact safety. Larger planes, with more structural material, can withstand higher pressurization at altitude. This may provide some additional protection in an emergency, though this is highly dependent on the severity of the situation. To conclude, while the thought of air travel can be intimidating, it's important to remember that it is a very safe mode of transport. The rare occurrences of air disasters should not deter you from flying. Instead, focus on choosing your in-flight movie and hope that your favorite meal option is available.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by pressing button below.